In 2005, there are some incidents that happened in Nigeria. These incidents made Nigerians sad. One of them is Sosoliso plane crash, which happened on December 10, 2005 in Port Harcourt. This is the story of Sosoliso plane crash. Welcome to Edu TV Nigeria. For more Nigerian story, click on the subscribe button. On December 10, 2005, Sosoliso Airlines Flight 1145 was on a scheduled domestic passenger flight. The flight was between Abuja and Port Harcourt. The captain of the McDonnell Douglas DC-932 was Benjamin Adekunle Adebayo. He was a 48-year-old pilot with a total flying experience of 10,050 hours, with 1,900 of them on the DC-9. Flight 1145 was carrying 103 passengers and 7 crew members. The majority of those on board were children aged between 12 to 16 years old who were traveling home for Christmas holiday. Among the passengers were about 60 secondary school students from Loyola Jesuit College in the Federal Capital Territory region of Nigeria. At first, Loyola Jesuit College students from Port Harcourt traveled between school and their homes via buses using the roads. Rising crime along the roads during the 1990s, however, made parents believe that road travel was too dangerous. In 2001, when Sosoliso Airline began services between Port Harcourt and Abuja, parents placed their children on the flights. Also, on the flight were 2 volunteers for Medicines Sans Frontier or Doctors Without Borders, one of whom was an American and the other was a French citizen, en route to work in Port Harcourt, as well as televangelist Bimbo Odukoya, pastor of the Fountain of Life Church. The national president of the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Pengasan, Uche Marcos Okoro, who was returning from a union meeting, was also on the passenger list. Flight 1145 was scheduled domestic passenger flight from Nigeria's capital, which is Abuja, to Port Harcourt, the capital of Rivers State. The aircraft departed from Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport at 12:25 p.m. with 110 people on board, and also with the captain as the pilot who was in control of the aircraft, and first officer Adan, who was 33 years, as his co-pilot. The flight was uneventful until its final approach in Port Harcourt. About 140 kilometers from the airport, the aircraft contacted controller for initial descent clearance and was cleared by the controller to descend to 4,400 meters. The aircraft continued its descent until 1 p.m. when the crew asked the controller of the weather condition at the airport. The controller told the crew that there was no precipitation and that there were scattered cumulonimbus clouds in the area. The crew acknowledged the reports and continued their descent. At 11 kilometers from the airport at 1:04 p.m., the aircraft had been established on the glide slope. At this time, the aircraft had entered adverse weather conditions with headwind and tailwind. The flight crews then requested clearance to land at runway 21. The controller then contacted flight 1145 and advised that there was a possibility of rain in the airport. The controller then cleared the aircraft to land at runway 21, but warned the pilots that the runway could be slightly wet, indicating that hydroplaning was a possibility. The flight crews then acknowledged this message. Flight 1145 then descended until it had passed the decision altitude of 307 feet. As the rain intensified, the visibility deteriorated. The unlit runway further aggravated the situation. Unable to make out the unlit runway through the rain, Captain Adebayo called for a go around at an altitude of about 200 feet or approximately 120 feet above the ground. This call was made about 100 feet below the decision altitude. His decision, however, was too late as flight 1145 was already too low for a go around. The too low chair warning then sounded and the flight crew tried to add more thrust. The flight crews had not managed to prepare the aircraft's configuration in a timely manner and the aircraft kept descending. At about 2:08 p.m. local time, the aircraft crash landed at Port Harcourt International Airport. The aircraft was carrying 110 people when it crashed while landing in stormy weather in the oil city of Port Harcourt. The plane slammed into the ground and burst into flames. Of the 103 passengers and 7 crew members, there were only 2 survivors, although 7 survivors were initially rescued. Many passengers survived the initial impact but died in the resulting fire. Other passengers later died from their injuries. Port Harcourt Airport had 1 fire truck and no ambulances. None of the 7 crew members survived the crash. Among the passengers were 60 secondary school students. Out of the 60 teenagers from the school, 59 died, with Kechi Okuchi being the only survivor from the school. Kechi was treated in Joburg, South Africa, and at Shrimner's Hospital for Children in Galveston, Texas, United States. Kechi later went on to take part in the 12th season of America's Got Talent in 2017 as a singer and finished the competition as a finalist. Televangelist Bimbo Odukoya, pastor of the Fountain of Life Church, was also on the ill-fated flight. She succumbed to her injuries the day after the accident. Pastor Odukoya's personal assistant, Bumi Amuson, now Bumi Adams, survived the plane crash. It was the second air disaster to occur in Nigeria in less than 3 months after Bellevue Airlines flight. Bellevue Airlines Flight 210 which crashed on 22nd October 2005 for reasons unknown, killing all 117 people on board. It was the Sosoliso's first and only fatal accident. Following the crash, the then President of Nigeria, President Olusegun Obasanjo, ordered all Sosoliso planes grounded. For the souls lost during this period, may their soul all rest in peace. Don't forget to click on the like button, comments below, and also share this video. This is EduTV Nigeria.